All business, no show business tonight in London's Guildhall. There was more words and effort spent thanking Saudi Arabia and Riyadh Season for getting these big shows on than there was on hyping up the fight any more than is needed. Daniel Dubois come in and sat down first, suited and booted. He put his IBF world title down on the table and took his place. When AJ followed, usually when these two things happen, the guys come in either side of each stage, so there can't be any crossover. Tonight at the Guildhall, they both have to come in the same place. AJ walked behind him, and for a moment I just thought, as the older man, as the elder statesman, as the man who used to call Dubois up for sparring, he might put his hand on him and just say, "All right, son, all right, boy." Anyway, that didn't happen. They both sat down, they took their seats, and first thing that was addressed was the rumour that Daniel Dubois, whose dad Stan is a really powerful influence and is now his official manager, had a row with Daniel's new trainer, Don Charles. Don hasn't been seen all week, which is relatively strange because a trainer and his fighters always together. These are crucial moments in fight week, especially where Dan is a quiet, reserved boy who likes to have a little bit of guidance around him. Instead, Frank Warren's always been with him anyway. The upshot is that Don Charles, the trainer who's really helped resurrect him for his last two big wins over Jarrell Miller and Philip Hergovich, he's laid down with the flu. He will definitely be in the corner. Dubois did even say that even if he isn't, he'll cope. But if Daniel Dubois was to walk into the ring without his recognised trainer, I think Anthony Joshua fans would have every right to believe that their man was even a bigger red-hot favourite than he already is.
Listen, as long as they're in my corner on fight night, I'm all right.
But everything is okay?
Yeah, everything's good, you know.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let's move on from that and let's put that rumour to bed.
AJ never likes to get dragged into any of the extra talk and extra fanfare. But when the sparring session from perhaps maybe 8 or 9 years ago was brought up at Team GB, where Dubois or the people around Dubois certainly talk about how he beat AJ up or dropped AJ or wobbled his legs, Joshua has always just palmed it off. I've done hundreds of rounds with hundreds of kids. But tonight he decided to maybe go back a little bit. When the sparring story was raised and both sides were given the opportunity to discuss it, Dubois brushed it off. Sparring is sparring. Sparring has done this as a fight. AJ said, "Tell them what happened, Dan."
AJ?
He cracked me with a great shot, and it's my chance to get him back on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go, Dan.
Well, we sparred hundreds of rounds, didn't
it? You cracked him, Daniel. So you know you can hurt him.
It's sparring. Now we're fighting. It's different, you know.
Think it's different?
Ready to go. Move on now. You can move on now.
Oh.
Move on.
Okay.
So AJ perhaps has used tonight very subtly to get into Daniel Dubois' head. We won't know until the first bell, and we won't know if this week's taken a toll, and we won't know if not having the training around has affected Daniel. But Daniel's looked ice cool all week. Perhaps tonight, I think, when AJ sat there, he took a couple of small opportunities, probably not too obvious to the eye, to old man Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is 27. Anthony Joshua is 34. It's a little chance to show that almost decade of experience, decade of empowerment, that he could enforce that on Daniel and sort of remind him of the pecking order. Dan may have the belt, but Anthony Joshua is the king of this division. Daniel Dubois at the minute is the prince, and he wants to dethrone him.